Thor forged a weapon beyond Mjolnir, not to protect, but to destroy. The target? Hulk. Not Bruce, but what he's become. A creature no god can reason with, no team can stop. But before the strike fell, Iron Man intercepted it. Why would Stark protect Hulk, or did he have another plan? And why was Thor crying after the confrontation ended? Something darker lives in Hulk now, something alien. And Stark knew it, because he helped bring to Earth the Hammer of Silence. The sky above Nidavellir burned with red starfire as Thor gripped the molten core of a dying neutron star again. But this time, he wasn't building a symbol of hope. He was building a weapon of execution. The forge hissed. Sparks cracked like thunder. The handle was embedded with dwarf runes, not for balance, but for sealing a soul. Eitri, the surviving dwarf king, watched Thor in silence. His hands were scarred, his voice low. You forged Mjolnir to be worthy, Stormbreaker to summon the Bifrost. But this one, Thor, this hammer won't judge worth. It will erase. Thor didn't blink. Good, he said, because Hulk has no worth left. Fire Earth. 3 days earlier. The Avengers were never supposed to reform, but they had no choice when New York was ripped open. Not by Ultron, not by Thanos. By Hulk. Except it wasn't Hulk anymore. Tony had watched the footage 100 times. The way Hulk's eyes flickered with blue static. The way his voice glitched into alien distortion. The way his skin rippled like it was holding something underneath. The Avengers didn't get a chance to respond. Hulk tore through 6 blocks before disappearing into the ocean. No reason, no message, just destruction. Brain, the hidden recording. Tony was already in his lab, digging into the radiation signatures, when Friday whispered, "Sir, you need to see this." A camera drone from Wakanda caught something, just outside Hulk's path. The footage showed a cracked meteor, small, missed by satellites, glowing and open. From it crawled something black, slithering with intelligence. It latched to a tree, then disappeared. But Tony noticed what nobody else did, a strand of it embedded into Hulk's arm. "It's a parasite," Tony whispered. "Not just venom, something worse. It's using Hulk's power as a body. Hammer Asgardian secrets." Thor had seen it too, long before Earth did. Weeks earlier, he faced Hulk in the ruins of Vanaheim. Hulk wasn't speaking, just grunting, then roaring, then whispering in languages no one knew. Thor had spared him then, thought Bruce was still inside. But now, after hearing about New York, after seeing Stark's data, after watching footage of Hulk absorbing a nuclear missile without flinching, Thor realized the truth. That is not the Hulk I knew. That is a god killer wearing a skin. Laptop computer Stark's backup plan. In secret, Tony began developing a new AI protocol called Project Godwire, built to override Hulk's brainwaves and shut him down. But as Friday ran simulations, something began infecting the code. It wasn't Hulk. It was something inside him, intelligent enough to reach back. And then the screens went black. Just one message remained. "Stay out. He is ours." Tony stood still, sweating. That's when he knew brute force wouldn't be enough. But Thor thought otherwise. Rocket confrontation incoming. Thor descended from the stars, gripping the unfinished hammer, Jomdrepa, the helm smasher. And he wasn't coming to talk. He landed outside Stark Tower. Tony stepped out in his Mark 97 armor, energy still charging. "Thor," he said, "you don't have to do this." "You're too late," Thor replied. "He dies today." But Iron Man didn't stand aside. Instead, he fired first. When thunder struck steel, the first blast from Iron Man hit Thor dead in the chest. Not a warning shot. A repulsor core overloaded beyond safety thresholds, layered with sonic destabilizers. The kind Tony designed to disorient Celestials, not gods. Thor flew back, smashing into a concrete wall, cracking it like paper. The new hammer, Jomdrepa, rolled from his hand and thudded beside a fire hydrant, steaming. But Thor stood, not even bleeding. He looked up at Stark and didn't raise his weapon. "You were always quick, Stark," Thor growled. But now you're foolish. Brain inside Stark's HUD. Tony's vitals were spiking. Friday was screaming inside the HUD. Warning, core temperature critical. Heart rate 147. Godslayer mode active. Tony's eyes scanned Thor's aura. Bioelectric pulses were rising fast. The thunder inside him wasn't just warm up. Thor was charging for war. He's really going through with it, Tony muttered. He actually thinks Hulk can't be saved. Friday whispered back, "Sir, you saw the footage." Maybe he's right. Tony's jaw clenched. That's not Bruce in there. But it's not a corpse either. Whatever it is, it's evolving. If Thor kills it, we'll never know how far it could go. High voltage, the hammer returns. The sky didn't roar, it screamed. Thor held out his hand, and Jomdrepa didn't just fly. It ripped through the air, pulling clouds down with it. It glowed with a blue-gold spiral. The energy of ancient gods bound to a core of anti-gamma quartz, mined from Svartalfheim, designed to shatter Hulk's regeneration. "I did not come here to fight you, Stark," Thor said. "But I will. And I didn't build suits for war anymore," Tony replied. "But look at us." And then he deployed the Godwire protocol. Robot face armor war. Mark 97 split into 5 subunits, surrounding Thor from all sides like a mechanical star. Each piece carried different tech. 1. Anti-lightning absorption. 2. Gamma pulse nullifiers. 3. Reinforced URU shield arrays. 4. Internal AI disruption fields. 5. A containment net built from fragments of Doctor Strange's broken mirror dimension. Tony hovered at the center of the ring. "Don't make me do this," he warned. Thor said nothing, then lifted Jomdrepa. The hammer spun. Lightning didn't strike. It screamed into the suits, ripping the first one apart in a single flash. Warning, fallout. The blast wave shattered the Stark Tower windows. People miles away felt the shock. But what happened next? Tony didn't expect. Thor didn't aim for him. He hurled Jomdrepa into the sky. Tony looked up. A shadow was falling, no, a being. It wasn't a meteor, not a jet. It was Hulk, except his skin was pulsing and glowing. Not green, not black, purple. Alien veins across his arms. His jaw unhinged slightly, revealing more teeth than a human should have. His eyes, not eyes, stars. "Alien, we are hollow," Hulk speaks. The being landed between them, cratering the ground, knocking Thor and Iron Man off balance. Then it spoke. "We are not Hulk. Hulk was shelter. Hulk was vessel. Hulk broke." Tony's armor went cold. His HUD glitched. "Who are you?" Tony demanded. The being turned to him slowly. "We are hollow, born from hunger, forged from silence, fed by rage." Thor whispered. Eitri was right. This is beyond Asgard. The being turned to Thor. "You came to kill what you loved. Noble, useless." Then it smiled. "But Iron Man, he brought us here." Firecracker the flashback, Stark's mistake. 2 years ago, an asteroid mining drone deep in the Kuiper Belt brought something back. A black stone, radiant, pulsing with static. Tony ran tests, then ignored it. But Bruce didn't. One late night, Bruce and Tony argued. Tony had gone to bed. Bruce didn't. He injected himself with a micro-thread of the stone's matter, trying to boost Hulk's resistance to cosmic radiation. It worked, for a while, but it also woke up something inside the stone, a slumbering intelligence, a parasite born at the edge of the universe. And now, it had full control of Hulk's body. Collision, Thor attacks. Thor didn't hesitate this time. He surged forward, lightning tracing runes across his face, and struck Hollow Hulk with Jomdrepa. The explosion silenced Manhattan for 12 seconds. Hulk staggered, but didn't fall. Instead, his body absorbed the hammer's energy, then grew. His chest cracked open like a shell, revealing glowing roots, stretching like veins, pulsing with star matter. "You feed us, God of Thunder." He grabbed Thor midair and slammed him into the earth with enough force to shift tectonic plates. Broken Heart Iron Man's betrayal. Tony's targeting system went red. Jomdrepa lay smoking 14 feet away. If Thor couldn't use it again, if Hulk wasn't just Hulk anymore, Tony had one option left. He shot forward, blasting Hollow Hulk's back with enough force to momentarily distract it. He then whispered, "Friday, code Black Echo." "Confirmed, sir." Locking hammer. A micro-shield deployed around Jomdrepa, locking it with Stark's override tech. Thor looked up, bloody, confused. "What are you doing?" "Stopping both of you," Tony snapped. "You don't understand what's inside him." "I do. I let it in." DNA mutation begins. Hollow Hulk screamed, not in pain and ecstasy. The sound rippled across dimensions. Suddenly, his shadow broke into pieces, like it had its own consciousness. Each fragment slid away, crawling like a virus, vanishing into buildings, servers, people. Tony backed up. "Oh no. Oh no, no, no. It's not a parasite anymore," he whispered. "It's an infection." Thor gripped his side. "Then we're already too late." And Hollow Hulk smiled. "We are Legion, and Earth is now our cocoon." Legion has no banner. Collision 72 minutes after Hulk's mutation. Wakanda's shield lit up red. The capital was under full lockdown. Not from an attack, but from within. Shuri stood in the vibranium core chamber, hands trembling, watching ancient readings spike off the charts. "It's not gamma," she whispered. "It's not even biological." "Then what the hell is it?" Rhodey snapped, standing in the blast-safe zone. Shuri turned to him slowly. "It's spreading. Through power grids. Through signals. Through thoughts." The infection wasn't just crawling through machines or humans anymore. It was crawling through ideas. Brain, meanwhile, inside the mind of Hulk. Deep below all the madness, Bruce Banner screamed in silence. He was still inside, still trapped. He watched as the hollow being walked, talked, mutated his body. But the mind, the soul, it wasn't his anymore. Bruce was chained in a psychic black cell, surrounded by mirrored versions of himself, all melting, all whispering the same phrase. "You let them in. You let them in. You let them in." And worse, the real Hulk was gone, evicted. Rocket Thor and Tony, war in the skies. Above Earth, in the remains of a disassembled SWRD satellite station, Thor and Tony had retreated to regroup. But the tension was radioactive. "You locked my hammer, Stark," Thor growled. "You dared override the power of a god." Tony's armor flared to life, though he didn't raise his fists yet. "I saved you from making a mistake. Killing that thing doesn't kill the threat. It spreads it." "You speak of containment," Thor snarled. "There is no cage strong enough. You saw what it did in New York." "I also saw you fail," Tony barked. "And I saw it feed off your lightning. You handed it a power boost." Thor stepped forward. "Then finish the hammer, and I will finish it." "You're not listening. We can't kill Hollow Hulk. Not yet." Tony pulled out a hologram. A flickering vision of the Earth with points of infection lighting up. Mumbai, London, Seoul, San Francisco. It's in the grid, in the web, in the minds of people who just saw the fight on TikTok. "You mean it's using virality?" Thor asked. "No," Tony replied grimly. "It's using attention as a fuel source." Globe showing Europe, Africa enter. Captain Marvel. Then, a flare burst through the station hull. Carol Danvers rocketed in like a comet, her hair blazing gold, her body crackling with quantum energy. "Where's he?" she asked. Thor stepped forward. "Earth." "The creature or Banner?" "Both," Tony muttered. "And neither." Carol hovered in the air, absorbing data. "I've seen something like this in the Kree archives," she said. "A symbiotic thought form. It doesn't just feed on bodies. It feeds on collective consciousness. Once it infects 2% of a planet's population mentally, it spawns." Tony's heart dropped. "How close are we?" Friday spoke flatly. 1.98%. "Fire back to Earth Ground Zero, Nevada." Deep beneath the desert, in a lab Tony forgot he funded, Bruce Banner's real body began twitching. Not the Hulk, not the parasite, just Banner. He was weak, starved, emaciated, but alive. A final backup of his consciousness had been copied here by Vision, years ago. A last-ditch body grown in secret if Hulk ever lost control permanently. But something was wrong. The body was twitching, not from waking, from being called. By the parasite. We found you, a voice whispered through the steel. The lab systems failed, and Banner opened his eyes. Shield Wakanda breaches. Shuri activated the failsafe, a hard reboot of the vibranium core meant to sever all tech from outside influence. But Hollow had evolved. When the lights went out, the people kept screaming, because it wasn't in the tech anymore. It was in their dreams. One child collapsed, then another, then a dozen adults, whispering the same phrase Bruce had heard in his prison. You let them in, you let them in, you let them in. Rhodey grabbed Shuri. We can't stop this with science. Then we stop it with gods, she replied. Hammerampic the reforging. Thor returned to Nidavellir. This time, not to build, but to bleed. Eitri stared at him. You forged a weapon that could destroy Hulk. It wasn't enough, Thor whispered. We need something older. Older than you are you. Older than fear. Thor laid down the hammer and his own blood. Eitri grimaced. You want to bind your life force to it? No, Thor said. I want to bind my soul. You'll die. Then I die a king. As Jomdrepa melted down, Thor stepped into the fire and screamed the name of his mother. Frigga, guide my hand. The forge ignited like a star. Bomb last line in the sand. Carol, Stark, and Rhodey stood at the edge of the Nevada lab. They were too late. The backup banner body was gone. The walls were covered in black moss. A message was smeared across the ground in blood. We are in the memory of you. Stark turned to Carol. If it takes Banner, if it becomes him. Carol nodded. Then we put him down. Tony clenched his fists. No, we put me down. This was my fault. We do what we must, she said. A loud crash echoed in the distance. Hollow Hulk had arrived. Only, he was no longer hollow. He was becoming Hulk again, but worse. Fused. Federal awake. And behind him marched shadows of himself, thousands of other Hulks, projected from infected minds. Not real, but dangerous enough. Firecracker, the end begins. Thor returned to Earth in a thunderstorm that cracked the moon. In his hand, a new weapon, part hammer, part staff, etched with soul runes and lightning scars. Jallerbreaker, he named it, the soul-ending Stormcaller. He stood beside Tony and Carol on the crater edge. One final stand, he said. Against a god we created, Tony added. No, Carol corrected. Against a god who saw us and became us. Hollow Hulk stepped forward, massive, shaking the earth. Then he spoke one final time. We are not hollow. We are Legion, and this world was never yours. The dream war begins. The first clone didn't feel real until it snapped Rhodey's arm in half. They weren't illusions. They were projections, psychic echoes of Hulk, sculpted from infected minds, yet strong enough to break bones. And they were multiplying. 1,000 Hulks, all roaring at once, all slightly wrong. Extra limbs, glowing teeth, some crawling on walls like spiders. Wakanda's forces opened fire. Nothing slowed them. Stark launched his nanofleet. They were torn apart in seconds. Shuri's EMP towers failed. The Hulks weren't running on tech. They were running on belief. Their ideas, she gasped, given form by the infection. They'll keep coming. High voltage, the real Hulk appears. Then the sky cracked, but not from thunder, from rage. The true Hulk, reborn through the parasite's evolution, landed in the middle of the chaos. He was larger than ever, 8 stories tall, muscles pulsating, eyes glowing white with memory. His first words chilled even Thor. I remember everything. This wasn't Bruce, and it wasn't the parasite. It was merged. The intelligence of the Hollow, the fury of the Hulk, the memories of Banner, and it hated everyone. Collision, Carol Danvers charges in. Captain Marvel didn't wait. She shot through 3 Dream Hulks, igniting into binary mode, energy screaming around her body. She hit the true Hulk in the chest, a blast that once stopped a Kree warship and sent him stumbling. The clones shrieked. Some evaporated. It's linked. Shuri shouted. If we damage the core host, the projections weaken. Carol surged again, aiming for his head. But Hulk adapted. In midair, his spine split open, releasing whips of tendrils that wrapped around her mid-flight. He smashed her into the dirt. Then again, and again. She didn't rise. Cross swords, Thor's new weapon, Jawbreaker. Thor raised Jawbreaker. The soul-bound weapon burned with divine energy, powered by his sacrifice at the forge. He sprinted into the clone swarm, lightning exploding with every step. Each swing disintegrated ideas, wiping clones from existence not just physically, but psychically. They are not gods, Thor roared. They are shadows of one. He reached the true Hulk, leapt, and drove Jawbreaker into his back. The scream that followed wasn't Hulk's. It was Hollow's. It echoed across minds, across planets, across dreams. And for a moment, the clones froze. Brokenheart Iron Man's final protocol. Tony saw his moment. He activated Protocol 42, a pulse bomb built from fragments of the Time Stone. If we can't kill it, Tony whispered, we trap it in a moment it can never escape. The device lit up, spinning fast. But before he could launch it, one of the clones, a Hulk with a star for a head, pierced Tony's armor with a bone spear. Tony screamed. The device fell. Thor caught it midair. I will finish it, Thor swore. Don't miss, Tony gasped, bleeding inside his suit. Firecracker the strike. Thor soared high, Jawbreaker in one hand, the time loop core in the other. Hulk looked up, eyes wild, confused, human for just a second. Thor, he whispered. It's me. You died the moment you let them in, Thor said. He threw both weapons. The hammer struck first, shattering Hulk's chest. Then the device detonated, and time broke. The hammer fell twice. Time didn't stop. It fractured. When Thor's throw connected, Jawbreaker broke, Hulk's chest wide open, and the time core detonated on impact. The explosion didn't vaporize Hollow Hulk. It folded him into a singularity of repeating seconds. A prison where one scream lasted forever. Hourglass not done, the time loop inside the trap. Thor found himself floating in an endless dusk. The world around him twisted between moments. Hulk roaring, Banner weeping, the parasite whispering. Over and over, every 5 seconds, reality reset. And Thor was the only one who remembered. A time cage, he whispered. No death, no escape, just memory. Hollow Hulk stood before him, bleeding, mutating, laughing. You cannot kill what has become an idea, it said. You will forget yourself before I end. Thor didn't answer. He simply raised his hammer and struck. Again and again. Brain, meanwhile, in real time. Tony Stark was dying, bleeding out in the remains of his armor. He recorded one final message. His voice was shaky, but his eyes stayed locked on the sky. If this reaches anyone, know that the monster wasn't Hulk. The monster was our arrogance. We built tech without limits, touched gods like toys. We forgot. Earth is still small, but it can still be home. If you rebuild, don't rebuild me. Rebuild better. His arc reactor flickered, then faded. Iron Man was gone. Dizzy Carol's return. Under Wakanda's medical dome, Shuri did the impossible. She channeled ancient Kree solar DNA from Carol's armor fragments and jump-started her cellular core. Carol gasped awake. Where is he? She asked. Gone, Shuri said softly. But Thor went with him. Carol stood. Her hands glowed. Then I'm going after them. You can't, Shuri warned. It's a closed loop, not time echo. If you enter, you won't return. Carol looked at the sky, then smiled. I've died before. And with a sonic boom, she vanished. Cross swords inside the loop, the final strike. Thor had struck Hollow Hulk 1,642 times. And each time, the parasite adapted. But Thor was adapting too. He wasn't just hitting harder. He was hitting smarter. He began timing the strikes to each reset, channeling soul energy into the hammer mid-swing. Whispering Asgardian death rites. You were not born to die, Thor told him, but to be forgotten. The parasite began to glitch. Its form flickered. Its voice stuttered. We, A-R-E. AR RGHHH. Carol exploded through the loop, a streak of gold and white fire. Together, Thor above, Carol below, they struck the hollow being in one final perfect collision, and it shattered. Candle, one last moment, Banner's goodbye. From the wreckage of thought and time, Bruce Banner emerged. Weak, real. He looked at Thor and Carol and smiled. "Thank you for not giving up." Thor stepped forward. "Can you come home?" Bruce shook his head. "I'm part of the loop now, but I bought Earth a chance." He reached into the flickering void and handed Thor a glowing fragment. "Memory seed. Plant it in the world. Let people remember who we were before we broke." Then he faded. Globe showing Europe, Africa, Earth. Aftermath. 1 year later, the skies were quiet. No Hulks rampaging. No gods fighting. Just rebuilding. Shuri led the new Unity Corps. Carol vanished into space, watching for cosmic threats. Tony's legacy lived on in a stark AI that couldn't speak, only listen. And Thor? He buried Jalabreaker in the heart of a new world tree, grown from the memory seed Banner gave him. "Let stories bloom," he said. "Not warnings." Brain final line for the audience. This was never just about the hammer or the Hulk or even the suit. It was about remembering that even gods can fail. But it's how we face what we create that makes us heroes. The end.